globalradio995fm.com. That's www.globalradio995fm.com. In addition, if you have access to Facebook, you can join us live in the studio. Look at the beautiful faces in the studio. Three charming young men. Well, actually, four charming young men, if you count our producer and engineer, but I don't know whether he is in the view of the camera. But anyway, you can watch us live on Facebook, and we will answer you live via Facebook. And so once again, we want to say good afternoon. If you're just joining us, this is Global 99.5 FM, and this is Straight Talk. I want to say good afternoon to our producer and engineer, Nathan. Co-hosts, Martin Albury.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much. It's good to be back in this air-conditioned studio after experiencing that 92-degree
extreme
heat on the outside, and after celebrating independence. You know,
we can talk a little bit about that.
You know, I tell you, independence was July 10th, but it will continue for me, and I hope others listening out there will join me. We're going to take this until July 10th, 2018, because every day in the Bahamas, Independence Day.
All right. Senator Derek Sims, good afternoon. You know, this bright green, this is fluorescent green you have on today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much, Bishop. Bahamas, all is well. We have gone beyond 44 years of an independent nation, and we are grateful. I thank you, Bishop. I thank your co-host, Martin Albury, for always making me almost relevant in the Bahamas today, for extending my views to the nation. To you on Global 99.5, I am grateful. But there are some things in this nation that has to be brought into check.
Yes, sir.
We talk about that a little later.
Yes, sir.
Well, you're going to set the tune. We just finished celebrating independence, 44 years, and I'm looking at a photograph that's gone viral with Lady Pinling, Margaret Pinling, feeding the Prime Minister with the Independence birthday cake.
Yeah, that's the GG and the PM. Yeah,
we have never seen anything like that before.
Well, you know, I think I recognize that photograph. That was taken the day before independence at the Paul Farquharson headquarters.
At the police headquarters.
That's where that was. And that party was hosted by the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Ellison Greenslade. And it was the ceremonial eating of the independence.
But don't you expect?
Yes.
Okay. Or should the nation not anticipate? Okay. The Governor General, okay, who was appointed by the former administration.
Yes.
Okay. Showing her gratefulness.
Yes.
Okay. Although I don't think she is too grateful of the present government today.
Yes.
So there is a continuance of her tenure in the office of Governor General. Because in my view, you know, okay, all I see when I see a fisherman is fish. And in my view, the Governor General, just like a fisherman, she's selling fish.
Well, I ain't going behind you on that.
Fish for sale. We got Margaret fish. Doggies and grunts.
No, they're selfish.
All right. That was very explicit. But you know, gentlemen.
But that's my Governor General.
Yes. It's Tuesday. And it was just one day after the nation celebrated its 44th anniversary of independence. And lo and behold, I picked up the newspaper, but I heard about it early on that evening, that the country was being saddled with more negative or bad news. But it is an accepted fact that in the midst of life, there is death. We know because we are now mourning the loss of a former minister of the government, Dr. B.J. Nottage. And in the midst of celebration, there's tragedy. In the midst of good times, there's some bad times. And these are the ironies of life. But while the sound of the cowbells and the goatskin drums were downtown Nassau, the flags were being hoisted in ceremonies around the country on Monday, July 10th, commemorating our nation's independence. The credit rating agency, Moody's, was in the process of penning a threatening statement on the state of affairs of the economy of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The International Credit Rating Agency is placing the Bahamas under another review for downgrade. Moody's says the review was prompted by statements made recently by the Minister of Finance, the Honorable Peter Turnquest, during the budget communication in the House of Assembly, that the country's fiscal position was weaker than previously estimated by the Christie administration, and that the government's debt ratios will continue to worsen over the coming years. Moody's also says it was expecting the government's debt to stabilize in fiscal 2017. But now it will concentrate on evaluating the country's credit risks, which are posed by ongoing economic and fiscal challenges, and that they will review the new government's proposals to arrest the fiscal deterioration. But Moody's is now threatening to downgrade the Bahamas if the latest review concludes that the government's debt ratios are likely to rise to the levels that would erode the fiscal strength. Well, today, if nothing has been added to it overnight, the government's debt stands at $6.5 billion. The new government has already concluded that it will have to borrow some $722 million to cover the deficit left by the Christie administration and to finance its commitments in the upcoming fiscal year. And now, gentlemen, the blame game is continuing. It is continuing between the new government and the survivors of that massive onslaught of the previous administration, the PLP. Well, the previous administration's chief spokesman, the opposition leader, Philip Brave Davis, says that statement about the economy made by the Minister of Finance, Peter Turnquest, are among the main reasons is reacting with this latest threat of downgrading the Bahamas' economy. If you listen to Philip Brave Davis, you'll hear him say, Peter Turnquest ripped a gaping hole in the mainsail of the ship of state. That Peter Turnquest caused the ship of state and the captain to lose control, and that it is about to run aground in these treacherous economic waters. And then I heard Mr. Peter Turnquest, on the other hand, blaming the former Christie administration of boring, or should I say poking. Is he boring the holes, or is he jackhammering some holes in the ship of state? And by jackhammering, they cause the ship of state to take on plenty water. But you know, it was through divine intervention that Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis was placed at the helm of that ship to rescue a country on the brink of perishing. And so today it leaves Straight Talk with this question: whose report do you believe? Whose report do you believe? But you know, before I stop, don't stop me now. Before I stop, not now. In order for Bahamians everywhere to understand where we are today, that is economically, you have to do a little research. And you do have to take a very, very close look, and you don't have to go very far. And I will take you back to the month of March this year, 2017. Are you going back? Let's take a slow walk back to March of 2017. Are you there? Thank you very much. Now that we are there, you would recall that in the House of Assembly, former Prime Minister, the Minister of Finance at the time, the Right Honorable Perry Gladstone Christie, reported the following to the nation in his mid-year budget communication. He said, 1, that Hurricane Matthew in October 2016 had a serious effect on the government's fiscal plans because of the extensive damage that the hurricane caused, especially to government infrastructure. 2, that there was revenue underperformance and that there was slippage in our expenditure. 3, that there was an estimated deficit of $350 million mid-year, which would have been reduced to an estimated $100 million at the end of the fiscal year. But guess what? And I can end that quote from Mr. Christie. But yes, guess what? Once Mr. Christie stepped out of the halls of the Honorable House of Assembly on that fateful day in March, and Gregory Town Eleuthera used to say, when something out of the ordinary occurred, all hell broke loose. The PLP government went on an election spending binge, the likes of which has never been seen in the history of parliamentary democracy in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. 2 months later, and after millions of dollars were spent, Mr. Christie and his government was voted out of office. In came Dr. Hubert Minnis and his new government. They then discovered that after 4 downgrades by the international credit rating agencies, including Moody's and Standard & Poor's, the $100 million estimated deficit was now $500 million. The bank reported just recently that some $234 million was spent in the month leading up to the May 10th general election, placing the country on the brink of another downgrade, this time to junk status. And gentlemen, that is where we are today. But Philip Brave Davis, Her Majesty's loyal opposition leader, is blaming the FNM government for the downgrade threat. He described it as being troubling because, he says, in the words of his shadow minister of finance, one Mr. I. Chester Cooper, the budget communication delivered by the Minister of Finance, Peter Tainquest, several weeks ago was the wrong speech at the wrong time. Davis said the issues for the threat are being recognized by the new government, and they are Bahama and Hurricane Matthew. But Mr. Davis has conveniently forgotten that under the PLP, in the last 5 years, there was dismal economic growth, there was ballooning debt, and the government's inability to meet its own projections were clear as crystal But he forgot that those were the main reasons why Moody's is back in town. And this time, they say it's for real. What are you going to do? The PLP is saying you need to stop the talk. You need to stop the blame game. Get to work, new government, and fix the problems. Many of their supporters, some supported the FNM. Some are diehard FNM supporters. They're telling me they're tired, they say, of all this talk PLP did and what money they spent. They're tired of hearing these things. Is in turmoil economically. And now that you are in charge of the ship of state, by casting blame for the next couple of days, could put all of us in trouble. How are we going to fix this? What say you?
Seems Aubrey and many times I'm wrong, but in retrospect, the blame game started a long time ago. Okay, you see, and unless you remind our citizens, our nations, our residents, we easily and conveniently don't remember. In 1992, see, this is the first exchange of government.
Yes, sir.
Okay, prior to 92, in 1967, was no talk, but ain't no money, you know. I don't know whether there was too much money, but when it came to 1992, okay, and the new political era after 25 years of the Lyndon Pinnon administration, the cupboard was bare, okay, and the FNM was caught in a catch-22 position. Okay, then we went from 92 to 97 to 202. Okay, and all seem to have been well, but in 202, when the new government, then the Progressive Liberal Party, we got to follow the trait of this thing. Okay, when the Progressive Liberal Party went into government, it then accused the FNM of squandering the wealth of the nation. Okay, and it says then that the cupboard was bare. Can you recall?
I sure
Can
do.
Bahamas recall?
Can you recall?
Okay, and ever since, every 5 years, government has changed, and the cupboard has remained bare. Okay, Moody and Standard & Poor
Yes.
came in at the onset of the 2007. That's correct?
Yes.
The 2007 election, when the cupboard was then again bare. If you understand
I'm following the trend.
where I am. So the cupboard became bare, in my view, after the 25 years administration of one lawyer over to a next lawyer, over to a next lawyer. And it is my submission that they have no care of the economic situation of the nation. Okay, now we're at 2017, and we are reaching this critical point now. But there is an advantage that can be gained. I could be wrong. Okay, you have had 25 years lawyer, 10 years lawyer, 5 years lawyer, 5 years lawyer, 5 years lawyer. That's almost 50 years, you know.
Plenty years of lawyers.
You see? But we have to realize, okay, that our nation is in the position that it is in because, and I stand to be corrected on this, everybody wants something for nothing. Nobody wants to make a national contribution to the nation. Everybody is all about me.
Now, I want to just
Go ahead.
I'll let y'all two get a long run there. I'm just going to interject here.
Go ahead.
I'm going to interject. I'm going to inject in that. Yeah, that's all right. I'm going to get to that phone. If you're not taking any calls, tell me take the break.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
But
Yes,
what I want to say is, because you brought up a very good point there, and recently in the media, former Prime Minister has put out there that once a government has been voted out of office, that should be sufficient punishment. I personally disagree with that assessment by the former Prime Minister. And what you just said, successive governments has left us in this dilemma.
Yes, sir.
And it cannot be sufficient just to vote them out. We have to review to see what has gotten us in this position, and where those who in authority have misused their power, have been neglectful and willful in their conduct. There ought to be some consequence.
Yeah, and you know, the words of the late great leader of the Free National Movement, Cecil Wallace Whitfield, comes in handy. Their backside should be prosecuted straight to jail. But you see, there already seems to be, in my view, a pandering of the legal fraternity. You see, and the nation is anticipating justification of why we are where we are. But lo and behold, I hear Tony General say,
What did he say?
no charges. These things ain't, in my words.
You see why I didn't want any lawyer to be Prime Minister of this country? You see now why I've advocated from day one not to have any legal minds running this country, because they are not going to prosecute
They find
their
excuse.
own.
They find excuse to cheat.
Lawyers are not up front in the leadership, but they're behind the scenes.
They're running the leadership.
They're behind.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Straight Talk, and I want to apologize to all of our listeners. We have been off air.
Yes.
But, you know, the new lineup is Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays.
And I want them to know we
And
cannot.
we're not going to substitute holidays for...
No, there will be no substitute. We going straight. Straight
This
talk.
is Straight Talk.
If we say Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, don't look for me to be here on Tuesday because it was a holiday on Monday. But I got something to tell you. We cannot correct the ship of state in a blame game. Cannot do it.
No, the blame has to stop.
Cannot do it. The ship of state cannot be brought back on course by blaming one another.
Well, let's not call it blaming.
That's what we will call it.
We will
Let's give
call
another-
it, we're going to
give me
point
another
out, we're gonna point out the
descriptive-
false.
A descriptive word.
We are going, okay.
Lift up your head.
We are going to expose their indiscretions.
All right. That's a better
Lift up your head, Bahamaland.
That's a great
So,
terminology.
we're coming back, ladies and
It will
gentlemen.
be an exposure of indiscretion.
Indiscretions. Yeah, we're coming back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Straight Talk, and when we come back, our phone lines are going to be open. I want to remind you that our panel today includes former Senator Derek Sims, my co-host Matt Norby, and yours truly, Greg Colley. And this is Straight Talk, Global 99.5 FM. We're coming back after we hear from our sponsors.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Sammy's Chicken, Sammy's Chicken does it again! For a limited time only, it's the $5.99 Thigh Snack Special!
I tell you!
Sammy's $5.99 Thigh Snack Special comes with a 12-ounce Coke, that included!
See, I don't lie!
For a limited time only, Sammy's Chicken, Robinson Road, Carmichael Road, East Street South, Farrington Road, and the newly reopened Prince Charles location. Sammy's Chicken.
The best tasting roasted peanuts in the whole wide world are Nature's Gifts Roasted Peanuts. Proprietor Derek Sims applies his personal touch by roasting peanuts to perfection. Get your peanuts in light, medium, and dark. Call 431-7710 to place your order. Nature's Gifts Roasted Peanuts on Market Street and Bacardi Road. LRD Construction has a proven track record as a general building and construction company. Its remarkable team is ready to provide quality and proficient service projects big or small. LRD Construction can handle large commercial sites, new homes, apartments, condominiums, townhouses, home improvements, renovations, additions, and alterations. Call LRD Construction at 327-3769 or 433-6166. West Winds, Love Beach. That's LRD Construction.
For fast and efficient appraisals of homes, vacant land, and businesses, your choice should be First Choice Appraisal and Real Estate Sales. Contact broker appraiser Gregory Colley for all your real estate sales and appraisals. Call 422-3010, 565-8896, or 341-0582 for listings of vacant land, residential and commercial properties, and all your appraisal needs.
There is only one pharmacy in Nassau that never says no and offers you great service. Doc's Pharmacy in the Ridgeland Mall for all of your pharmaceutical and prescription needs. At Doc's Pharmacy, great service is more than just giving prices. Filling your prescription is easy. Just call 322-3627 today. Doc's Pharmacy in the Ridgeland Mall, Robinson Road. The pharmacy that never says no.
Want to reach your target audience? Advertise here at Global Radio 99.5. We hit the mark every time. This is Straight Talk with Gregory Colley. Call in and participate at 326-0271 on Global Radio 99.5 FM.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Straight Talk. I'm your host, Greg Colley, along with my co-host, Martin Albury, and former Senator Derek Sims. And for the last half hour, we've been talking about the budget, the threatened downgrade to junk status by Moody's. Now, I remember somebody telling me, Moody's, we paying Moody's, man. They on our payroll. So what are they going to come and downgrade us if you don't want them here to downgrade? I mean, listen, gentlemen, this matter about downgrade and all this issue about having to, we should stop blaming name. I want to just remind you and our listeners that I heard this talk when Chester Cooper on his feet on the House of Assembly, and I heard former, not former, he's former deputy leader of the Progressive Liberal Party. Now he's leader, interim leader, and currently the Her Majesty's loyal opposition leader, said that Chester Cooper said it's the wrong speech at the wrong time, and it was echoing what the not only he but also Glenys Hanna Martin said the same thing. They were all in unison with that assessment that it was the wrong speech for the wrong time, and that we should not be saying the kind of things that we were saying. Now, the question I'm going to ask you, both gentlemen and our listeners, if what the FNM is saying is true, why should we sugarcoat it? Why should we hide it? Because we were afraid that we're going to be downgraded. If you're going to say what is true, shouldn't the truth be told? Isn't that what the Bahamian people elect the new government for, to be told the truth?
In my view, the Bahamian people wanted to know the reality of the state of the nation. And what has occurred or transpired is that there has been a gross deception.
People, well, you're being very kind. People, the Bahamian people felt and they believed that they were being lied to. They were being misled.
I don't know, maybe you're right, but you see, a lot of the position of the state of the Bahamas, in my view, was not revealed. Upon coming into office, I believe it was the obligation of the government to expose the state of the nation and not to have a cover-up. And that is why we're resulting into the actions that we are in today. It was the responsibility of the government of today to notify the citizens as to the state of the affairs of the nation.
But even further then, if Moody's is so concerned, Moody's should be really concerned that what they have been, the documents they've been shown, the presentation that was made by the previous government, if they have a concern that things are worse than it was revealed to them, then they should also be aggrieved that they've been lied to, that they've been deceived.
Well, I think that's one of the main reasons.
Diplomatically.
One of the main reasons why they're now coming with this new threat that you are now at Baa3. Your next level will be junk status. That means you're the dregs. You're at the bottom of the barrel. And
But listen,
based on
if every day you dress up in a suit,
yes,
looking good that everybody can look at you, so you look good, but you ain't got a job, and man has your house advertised for sale. By putting on that suit and looking good, does that change your position?
well, it might change your financial position,
But it change how you look.
So are we concerned about cosmetics, or are we concerned about what the true reality is?
There you are. The nation, in my view, needs to be concerned about the reality of the issues of today for the Bahamas, and not the cosmetic view that was presented by the former government.
well,
That's where we are.
well, the previous government is now saying that the new government is making the state of the country's economy a political football.
How? Please
That is what
tell
they
me
say.
how.
Because they're accusing you of loose talk, that you are days after winning a general election, turning the leaves of the files in every government ministry and department, and day after day you are coming and telling the public about misfeasance, accusations of mismanagement, accusations of abuse of the public's purse. And at the same time, every word that you utter, every line that's printed in the newspaper is transported globally. And that Moody's and Standard & Poor's and the International Monetary Authority are all watching you. They're all listening to you. And as I look at something in the paper today, this is the Tribune, today's date, with Mr. Alfred Sayers, QC. He's now saying the government of the Bahamas, with an open economy in crisis and dependent on international confidence, does not have the luxury to engage in any further loose talk. You see the word I told you about earlier?
Yes.
That's what they're accusing this new government of doing. Talking loose. The obligations of the government of the Bahamas are continuous, irrespective of the change of political parties. Therefore, confidence in the capacity of the state should never be compromised for partisan political consideration.
But you know, that's what they talk.
Is
The
it-
PLP is very, very dangerous. They will talk that stuff, but when the shoe is on the other foot, when they're in power.
They spend the money.
They spend the not only they spend the money, they also
money.
talk.
They spend the money.
They also talk. Not alone, but
They're
they
in
talk
charge
a
of the
lot,
money.
they spend the money.
He spends the money.
They spend the money, they also talk. Listen here. Let me remind you and our listeners, for almost 4.5 years,
Yes.
the PLP continued to blame the FNM for the country's failure. They never stopped. Now the shoe is on the other foot. They want the FNM to stop. You tell me government wasn't continuous then?
No, it's not, as far as they were concerned.
Only when the FNM is power.
And that you should cease and desist from bringing your
Well, I
country
listen to them.
into disrepute.
I'm not listening to them, and the Bahamian people are
Any
not
further?
listening to the Progressive Liberal Party. Alfred says,
Because
I see now that even Branville McCartney now has found voice.
tell me, he wants to know, how could you justify $722 million
Where has he all of a sudden crawling
in
from under the
the
rock?
first year of your term? Unbelievable.
I guess he must see now. Says
He says it's unthinkable.
Says Mortimer say he's going to run, challenge the leadership.
Well,
now,
Branwell
from his
McCartney
voice,
has
eh?
not made a decision as to whether or not he will seek.
But listen, all of this,
stay on as leader or not.
all of this talk is all pure politics. The PLP want the FNM to stop exposing them. Okay? They want to stop the hemorrhaging, and they want to twist. They're now trying to turn the table on the FNM that, listen, you must now in some instances, I think, and I look, somebody showed me a picture just now, we're going to talk about that. The government needs to govern. They can't just talk.
That's true.
They have to show some substance, showing that something is beginning to take shape. Now, what that means is government has to set the ground hit the ground running. Now, one of the biggest criticism they've had, which was also placed against the Perry Glass and Christie's government when they in their failure to name public boards. The FNM now find itself in
Same
the same position. Or even worse.
Yes.
So
How long does it take?
Yeah, how it tells that you
Are
not
you ready to govern? That's
ready
the
to
question.
govern. So
leaving yourself open?
there are some criticisms that the government has left itself open to, and it must move on. But and you cannot stand around. See, while you're throwing artillery, you must show that you're also making a difference. So some of the criticisms may be justified, but I can tell you I cannot buy what the PLP is saying about continuity, because PLP only know about the continuity and doing things in the best Bahamian interest when they're in power.
But
when they can say whatever they want to say, they can do whatever they want to do, but when it's on the shoe is on the other foot, it's a different thing altogether.
But gentlemen, Her Majesty's loyal opposition,
Yes.
okay, must be able to state how it feels clearly, okay? And like Mr. Davis said yesterday, okay, when he blamed the FNM
Yes.
for
What did he say?
the downgrade threat, the opposition leader, Philip Brave Davis, said yesterday it was troubling that international credit rating agency Moody has placed the Bahamas Baa3 credit rating on review for downgrade. It is troubling because it confirms my shadow Minister of Finance, okay, Chester Cooper, that the budget communication was the wrong speech at the wrong time. Now, please clarify that for me.
Well,
What do you mean the wrong speech at the wrong time if it is the situation that exists in the nation at present?
No, they want you to cover it up. They want you to sweeten the pot, sweeten it up, to sugarcoat it.
Here's what Mr. Brave Davis was referring to.
What was he referring
Tell
to?
me.
That Mr. K. Peter
Tell the
Tenquest,
Bahamas.
the Minister of Finance, when he delivered the budget communication, May 2017,
Yeah, go
he
ahead.
said, in the first 10 pages of that communication, he says it contained nothing but an unprecedented partisan defense that the 2007 to 2012 Ingram F&M government's alleged achievements and the Christie PLP government's alleged failures between 2012 2017. The communication asserted that the fiscal situation in the current fiscal year is far bleaker than we could ever have imagined. And
is that true
Mr.
or untrue?
Mr. Tenquest says our predecessors have literally left us with a cupboard that is bare.
Is that true or untrue?
Well, if I give you my personal view, government is never broke. The Treasury,
we ain't talking theory
the Treasury
now.
is never broke.
We're not talking
Well,
theory now.
if you want me to go grassroots, you got to tell me what you want me to do. You know,
No,
lead me.
No,
Lead me.
I'm
Lead me.
not.
Give me one step and I'll take 10.
Insofar as we all know, as long as the citizens have money, the government have money because they have the legal backing, the legal authority.
Well, what it is
For taxes,
here's
all
what
right.
he- here's what he meant.
So technically,
Here's what he meant.
the government is never really broke.
Here
But-
is
but-
what,
Okay.
and he said the cupboard was bare.
All right.
1 month before the May 10th general election, and this is confirmed by the Central Bank of the Bahamas. The Perry Christie administration spent $234 million on contracts and other commitments to vendors, some to people they knew were unable, unqualified things, but they spent the money anyhow.
Mhm.
They made an estimated projection that by the end of 2017 fiscal year, the country would have seen of just $100 million.
I wonder if you
When
guys
the new
understand the amount of
government
money you're talking
came
about.
in, they discovered that the deficit was $500 million, $400 million more than Christie projected.
Yeah, but you see, that's what I'm saying.
So if you say the
I wonder.
cupboard is bare, that means he left you in a conundrum.
Let's
He left you
let
in
us-
the financial
let us go,
doldrums.
let us go back to.
But whose money is it?
Let's go
Where
back.
does the money
Derek
come
said,
from?
Let's
Yeah,
go back.
ahead.
Let's go back to 2012
Okay.
when the Christie
When
administration
Ingram's government was voted out of office.
Yeah, that's when we had
Yeah.
all them roads, them
Okay.
dig up.
Yeah,
All
that's
them
it.
businesses on Blue Hill
$100
Road.
how-
and
how-
Market
how-
Street reverse.
All right,
Overrun.
now let's
Yes.
contrast that, compare
Yes.
that
Yes.
with what we're talking about now in terms of what the argument the Progressive Liberal Party is putting forward.
Well, let's count the numbers.
Well, let's look at the situation.
Yes.
When Mr. Christie and what's that Greek descendant name who got voted out in Golden Isles?
Alcides.
Alcides, okay.
And I want to talk about Golden Isles.
They explained to the nation the situation, the dire situation
That Mr. Ingram's
that
government
Mr. Ingram
left the country. in. Okay, now
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Someone said that government is continuous,
Yes.
and you
Government
ought
is always
not, and you
continuous.
ought not to.
Well,
Oh, no, well yet,
I
no,
can
well
tell- I
yet.
can tell you who's
No,
saying-
but
who's
no,
saying it.
no, but no,
I can tell you who's saying it.
Well, go ahead.
Chester Cooper saying it.
Uh-huh.
Philip Brave Davis is
Uh-huh.
saying it.
Uh-huh.
Alfred Sayers is saying it. Fred Mitchell is saying it.
And was Moody and them other people out there looking around and listening to them when they said that?
That is the bottom line. Christie said this, it didn't happen. Peter Tenquest is now saying what Mr. Christie told us was untrue.
But it was.
As Moody shows us so clearly. All right? But as you say, when John is
How
in
much did
power,
they borrow when they came to government?
almost $1 billion.
Can you touch it?
Cannot smell it.
Can you smell it? Can you feel it?
I want to taste it. $1 billion.
What did they do with all that money?
We've been told now in 5 years they might have borrowed $2 billion.
So what I'm saying, all this stuff they're talking, they need to go look and if we can roll back the tapes and listen to them and see what they said back then, you know, the evidence is right there. The evidence, we have all the evidence. We have the files to show. What they're talking, what they're saying is, and that's why we talked about it the other day. And again, I differ very strongly with the views that Mr. Ingram is offering in relation that if once the government is voted out, that should be sufficient, and then you shouldn't be looking for nothing else. Well, I want to know, ask him a question, but why did he engage in all that money for a commission of inquiry when he won in '92? If it was his view that once you beat the government, that should be it.
He wanted to make sure he got an easier bite at the cherry in 1997.
Man, see. Let me put another spin
You
on
didn't see how that happened? He exposed them after 92.
No,
and
man.
it's 97.
You can't let it. You should not let it happen like
and
this.
the Commission of
Martin
Inquiry served its purpose.
Martin, you should not allow
Served its
it.
purpose.
You should not allow it, and the nation has to speak up against it. Okay. I saw the interview with Ingram. Okay, and Ingram's interview was a justification of himself and his administration.
Well, now.
Between 1992 to 1997, and from 1997 to 2002, there has only been one government of the Bahamas.
Man,
Hold on. There has only been one government of the Bahamas that has served multiple terms, and that was the Hubert administration.
And when Mr. Ingram administration was voted out of office in 2012, Mr. Ingram packed his bag and he went home.
You see, but due to 2012,
he said that was sufficient.
No, man.
Whatever sins that were committed were absolved.
Listen to me, man. And the Bahamas, listen to me. Ingram administration won its first term between 1992 to 1997.
That is true.
It won its second term from 1997 to 2002.
That is.
Then it was dismissed from office.
Yes.
Okay. And ever since, okay, the nation has had only a one-term. In
20 years.
Government administration.
In the last 20 years.
Okay.
That is true.
So Hubert Ingram, the Honorable, is justifying that the only time the Bahamian people repeated a government in office
It's 97.
was 97 when he was re-elected.
Yes.
If you follow what I am saying.
I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm with you.
After that, everything went
falling apart every 5 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, okay, that the Bahamas for the last 25 years,
okay,
has been operated by Ingram and Christie. They're the only two prime ministers I know about.
That's the truth.
So whatever situation the Bahamas is in today is directly or indirectly as a result of the administrations of Hubert Ingram and Perry Christie. And hold on, let me tell you something else now. Because Bahamas don't see this far.
Yes.
And who in line now to be the next prime minister of the Bahamas? Who is the leader of the opposition in this country?
Philip Brave Davis.
Yeah, so now we have Ingram, Christie, and Co.
And where they want to take us?
to how this building look
They
on.
want to take us.
They want to take Bahamas.
Can't
Listen
let
to
them
me.
do that no more.
Listen to me, Bahamas. What is the name of it?
I-
Elizabeth Avenue?
Elizabeth Avenue.
Drive down to Elizabeth Avenue. You want to see why the Bahamas look the way it look?
Why are we facing a downgrade?
Well, look at, I think the office is named Del what? Del Burn? Del Burn House?
Yeah.
Well, drive to Elizabeth Avenue. Turn south. Look at the second building
On the right.
This is on Bay
on
Street.
the left-hand
No,
side.
Right, left, you're
This is
right.
coming
Alright.
off of Bay Street.
Bay
now.
Street.
Yes,
coming
sir.
up Bay Street.
Yeah, right. Take me right
And
now.
there you will see
Yes.
the former officers of the
Christie, Ingram,
of
and Co.
Christie, Ingram and Co. Okay, and the dilapidated state.
No, but that's only a parking lot now.
Yeah, but
But the
you
building
see,
is still there.
but you see, these are the people who you
In a
had,
terrible state.
who you had responsible for the state of the nation. And I'm saying to you, if you look at the state of their premises of Cuban, Ingram, Perry, Christie,
And Davis.
Co.,
Davis and they do.
including Brave Davis, you would understand why the state of the nation is the way it is
Could
today.
it be that they were too busy running the country to keep the building operating?
Never. They were neglectful. Okay,
Mind you, they were running the country.
but that has
They
nothing.
couldn't be in the building running an office. a law
I
office.
disagree with you. I disagree with you. Okay, it should have been easier for them.
What is the state of that structure that you're talking about?
It
And
needs-
how do we
It
compare it?
needs to be demolished.
state of the
almost,
economy.
almost like the state
Because
of the economy
we
now.
cannot
It's
correct
exactly the
ship
way
of
the state of the
state
economy
in a
is.
blame game.
Look at it. Look at it. Just go and have a look.
And
The
everybody wants
roof
to blame.
is in disrepair.
They
It is
left-
unoccupied.
Have they left the state of the economy dilapidated?
And
Just like the state of their building.
We can't have them leading us.
Ladies and
No,
gentlemen,
sir.
this is
They
Straight
must
Talk.
never ever be
you
able
have the
to.
third person
Cannot
now
have
in
them
line.
leading us.
The third person in
That's all
line
I'm
now
saying.
to take over again.
That's all I'm
And
saying.
I want to
to
make a
Bahamas.
clarion call. If y'all telling me these things, and I got to see this for myself to make sure, I'm calling on the Minister of the Environment.
Oh,
Who is that?
Yes, I need him. Who is the
Minister of
minister? Ferrero or something like that?
Mr. Ferrera
Well,
got to
he
make a
needs-
trip.
He needs to turn to action.
well, let's
Because-
talk. Let's talk about that when we come back from the
When we
break.
come back.
Because y'all trying to load a lot of stuff in
When we
here.
come back.
Y'all trying to make up time. But anyway, listen, ladies and gentlemen, in case you're just joining us, this is Straight Talk. And we want to welcome you. This is Global 99.5 FM. Your host, Greg Colley, along with Martin Aubrey and former Senator Derek Sims. We're coming back after we hear from our sponsors.
There is only one pharmacy in Nassau that never says no and offers you great service. Doc's Pharmacy in the Richland Mall for all of your pharmaceutical and prescription needs. At Doc's Pharmacy, great service is more than just giving prices. Filling your prescription is easy. Just call 322-3627 today. Doc's Pharmacy in the Richland Mall, Robinson Road. The pharmacy that never says no.
For fast and efficient appraisals of homes, vacant land, and businesses, your choice should be First Choice Appraisal and Real Estate Sales. Contact broker appraiser Gregory Colley for all your real estate sales and appraisals. Call 422-3010, 565-8896, or 341-0582 for listings of vacant land, residential and commercial properties, and all your appraisal needs.
LRD Construction has a proven track record as a general building and construction company. Its remarkable team is ready to provide quality and proficient service on projects big or small. LRD Construction can handle large commercial sites, new homes, apartments, condominiums, townhouses, home improvements, renovations, additions, and alterations. Call LRD Construction at 327-3769 or 433-6166. West Winds, Love Beach. That's LRD Construction. The best tasting roasted peanuts in the whole wide world are Nature's Gifts Roasted Peanuts. Proprietor Derek Sims applies his personal touch by roasting peanuts to perfection. Get your peanuts in light, medium, and dark. Call 431-7710 to place your order. Nature's Gifts Roasted Peanuts on Market Street and Bacardi Road. Peanuts! Peanuts!
Extra, extra, read all about it. Sammy's Chicken, $5.99 special.
Sammy's Chicken does it again. For a limited time only, it's the $5.99 thigh snack special.
I tell you.
Sammy's $5.99 thigh snack special comes with a 12-ounce Coke, that included.
See, I don't lie.
For a limited time only, Sammy's Chicken, Robinson Road, Carmichael Road, East Street South, Farrington Road, and the newly reopened Prince Charles location. Sammy's Chicken.
Want to reach your target audience? Advertise here at Global Radio 99.5. We hit the mark every time. This is Straight Talk with Gregory Colley. Call in and participate at 326-0271 on Global Radio 99.5 FM.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Straight Talk. This is Global 99.5 FM. Our phone lines are open, 326-0271. You want to get in on our conversation and give your comments and give your take on what we've been discussing for the past hour. You can call us 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272, or you can WhatsApp us at 565-8896. That's 565-8896. What do you think about this downgrade threat? And is the government to blame, as the opposition is making their case? Or is the Progressive Liberal Party the actual culprits who have us in this mess, and they are trying to get us to sugarcoat, to sweeten it up, so that the people on the outside will get the impression that things are not as bad as they say, or we say it is? Have they been playing with the books?
But guess what? Guess what? Guess what? After all of this that's going on, the Progressive Liberal Party is now saying, through its spokesperson on finance, Mr. I. Chester Cooper, that it is time for the government, the new government, and the opposition to work together. It's time to stop this loose and idle talk, which is putting the country in a conundrum in the international community. You're scaring away potential investors by giving them all of this negative information concerning a previous government and accusations of abuse of its powers and misuse of public funds and all of these litany of allegations that they are levying against the government. We are now being threatened with downgrade to junk status. And Mr. Cooper is saying to the government that they have the answers. They should get together with them to come up with solutions.
The Progressive Liberal Party now has the answers.
They say they know exactly what to do.
Man, you gotta be joking.
And that the government should be matured in with them to get this country out of the problems that we are heading into.
If I was a government
And
the administration of the nation, I would pay absolutely no attention, none whatsoever, to the former Deputy Prime Minister, to the former Minister of Transportation. To Chester Cooper, welcome aboard, but boy, your job hard.
man, listen, they are saying,
How can I listen to you?
if you haven't realized it or not, the general election is now over.
I agree.
All the campaigning and all of that stuff is over.
I agree.
Now is the time for the government to cease and desist from all this constant allegation of misfeasance, abuse, corruption by the previous government officials, and to focus their attention on solving and shifting our development paradigm to a more sustainable model. And then guess what? They used Sir Stafford Sands. You remember that man?
Stafford Sands.
They use him as a great example.
Who do that?
The PLP.
The PLP do that?
I'm telling you, for the government.
Boy, they never cease to amaze me.
You see the PLP in the early 1960s.
You mean the same PLP who took the Stafford Sands of the money?
Invited.
When they came to office, they said the man was a racist,
Man, listen.
and they took him off the money. And said,
History has a way of vindicating people. Even though they did all those things to Sir Stafford Sands. Do you recall?
Yes, I do.
It was Sir Stafford Sands, the father
of the
tourism,
tourism in the Bahamas.
You know what he did? He invited in the 1960s. It's Sir Stafford who took the Royal Bahamas Police Force band.
Made them international.
All over the world.
Yes.
All over the world.
Yes. But see, it was partisan politics.
Business to the Bahamas.
It was partisan politics when they were trying to poison the minds of the Bahamian people, trying to take away the contributions that Sir Stafford has made to this country. In fact, the model that we continue to use is one which Sir Stafford developed.
Well, they're saying it's time to get back to the old landmark. You got to put the brains together. You remember Sir Stafford?
Yes, sir.
He took Sir Henry Milton Taylor, the then leader of the Progressive Liberal Party, on trips with him to help promote the Bahamas, to drive business back to this country.
You'll never see no PLP doing that to no person who is not connected with the PLP.
Well, it's them who say
in power, you have not seen them done that.
They are
not openly.
They are looking to save the nation.
Yeah, but now they're in opposition. You can say anything. Remember when they were opposition? They said they had the solution to crime. You remember that?
Well, they forget,
that was
we don't remember too long.
You see the same thing.
So what do you think they do? You don't think they're campaigning now? They're campaigning for 2022.
They say the same things about them that the FNM was saying.
Gentlemen, I understand. I understand.
That is why
I understand. I understand the Progressive Liberal Party. And I don't want to bear on this too long.
Blaming somebody else.
I understand clearly that the Progressive Liberal Party has restarted its campaign for the next general election. I don't want to dwell on them too long.
No.
But if I were the Bahamian people, okay,
don't pay them no mind.
The governance of the Bahamas.
I told you they are very good at opposition.
Never ever
excellent
rest
opposition
in the hands of the Progressive Liberal Party for a lifetime.
But they say they are ready to help. They're throwing out a lifeline.
Yeah, but the Bahamian people
have us in the ocean swimming.
They are giving you
without a lifeline.
Olive branch.
Yeah.
Cease and desist, and let's work together.
But
that's a good.
See, I don't want to talk with the former government.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay?
Let's go.
Let me talk with this government here.
Tell me about
who is the Minister of the Environment.
His name is the Honorable Ferreira.
Well, he needs to get to it.
Ferreira.
He needs to explain to the Bahamian public. And Bahamas, if I'm wrong, you all tell me why this place is so dirty.
But he's only been on the job in what, 1 month? 6 weeks.
There's no more time.
Been on the job 6 weeks.
How long does it take to put a board together, to put action together, to begin to clean this town up again? See, don't tell me that whoever was the Minister of Environment for the former government was able to keep New Providence, if not totally clean, 80% clean. You have now been the government for in excess of 6 weeks.
Yes.
Okay? And if you drive Prince Charles Drive, you drive Marathon, you drive Independence Highway, you drive Mila Butler Highway, you drive Carmichael Road, oh my God, you drive into Coral Harbor, it does not look the same. And I am calling on the Minister of the Environment to get to work, to start to clean our nation up. It is ridiculous No excuses, no alibis. Get the job done. You said that you were able to better administrate the affairs of the nation. Now let's get to work. You are the government, Mr. Albright.
Yes, they are. And I've heard that the contracts for cleaning the various parks, playgrounds, verges, beaches, schools, cemeteries, green spaces have not been allocated as yet.
Then
They just come out of June, where all of the contracts came to an expiration,
yes.
and now they have not gone through the process of awarding the new contracts. As yet.
So what you're saying to the nation now, okay?
Everything is on hold.
No, so
as
you
far
said
as the cleaning contracts are concerned.
See, you're saying to the nation
Yes.
now, okay, that the nation must be on hold.
That's not me you're talking about.
Ministry. And the government is saying that the nation must be on hold. Then the government is at fault. You see, you got to call a dollar. You can't call it $100.
I like
You got to
spades. I
call
like spades.
spade a
Yeah, I
spade.
like spades.
And heart say heart.
Yes, sir.
And heart red. But this thing today now black.
Yes.
All right?
And we're dirty.
And you see, the government has had in excess of 30 and 15, 45 days.
But they are now reviewing proposals.
This time the
Tell
government
us what they
request for proposal should have been out ahead of the June deadline. You took office, in May. You know all these things had to come to
At the end of the
fruition.
fiscal year.
Yes, you were aware of that. Okay? And the end of the fiscal year has gone for how many days?
From June 30th to July 12th.
So some, you see, where there is failure, there is no preparation. Now, I'm calling on the Minister of the Environment to implement his preparation, all right? All those contracts have come to an end, but they have ended almost 14 days now. Now, with the rain we have,
Yes.
can you imagine in the next 14 days
all
what
the-
our country would look like?
All the trees are blossoming.
Are you talking about? I talking about the grass in the road. Thank God for the sidewalks. The sidewalks covering some of it. Had the sidewalks not been there, you would have really seen the state of the nation. Clean it up. No excuses. No alibis. No reasons. Get to work. That's all I'm saying. You said you were ready from day one.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Straight Talk. If you're just joining us, our telephone lines are open, 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272, or you can WhatsApp or text us at 565-8896, 565-8896.
I challenge the Bahamian public, are they listening?
Yes.
To call me and tell me I'm wrong. Tell me this nation is not overgrown. Call me. Since I'm wrong, all y'all FNM.
And
Call me.
We expecting more rain, Senator Sims.
Yes, and
And the
More
more rain,
rain,
so
more
which means
rain.
which means we can have more overgrowth.
And this government is being faced with more problems.
but you see, let me put this in. So the government don't feel like they're being over pressurized. Okay? The Bahamian public allowed the PLP to get away with what it get away with, but it does not expect the same from the Free National Movement. It has a higher standard for the free, and the Free National Movement must begin now to live up to the standard that the nation is expecting from it.
You're
And
talking about the cleaning up of the nation.
that's all I'm talking about right now.
Cleanliness is next to godliness. But I said, and I'll repeat it, this government is faced with many, many problems. When you look at the Ministry of Health building, is that on Meeting Street,
Yeah.
they have the roof is leaking. When you go down into the General Post Office, they have mold, rodent or rat infestation. The people walked off the job today, this morning, 9 o'clock. They got them on 4-hour work days. And then I hear my friends calling me out of Bimini, telling me come August 2nd, they ain't got no bank do nothing down there. The bank, Royal Bank, closing down. It done close in Spanish Wells. Now, the people say they stranded at the post office. They say they cannot work in those conditions because something could drop from the top any minute because they experience it. There's mold, rats are throughout the building. The air conditioner is not working. And then you get these kinds of complaints multiplying around the islands of the Bahamas.
In
You
Grand
go into
Bahama,
Grand Bahama, you
same
hear
situation.
something. You move into Andros, you hearing some other things. You go into Eleuthera, you hear similar things. Cat Island, Long Island, Exuma. The government got plenty problems.
Yeah, but you see, you are the government. You were chosen
Are you
by
saying?
the
Are you
citizens
saying?
of the
Are you
Bahamas.
saying
They have
these things?
to
Deal
begin
with it
you were not-
one
administrating.
time. They have to
No.
prioritize.
Are you saying
They
that you
got
were
it.
not aware of these things
You were
before?
aware of
My
these things
friend,
before you were elected
When they
government.
come in the office, it's a new day.
Not if you are prepared.
It's a new.
And the government must go to work. It is time now to work. Look at the papers. BPL theft fraud soars to 7 million. Let's get to work. Okay, let's stop all of the leakage that is going on. Okay, let's stop all the unmaintenance of public buildings, and let's get to work. Mr. Minister of Works, Mr. Desmond Bannister. I think that's who is. the
That's it.
Minister of
That's
Works.
who it is. That's who it is.
Mr. Minister of what a ministry name now?
What comes under the ministry? Give me an idea.
Transport,
Okay, it
aviation,
local government.
local government.
Yes,
Get to work, man.
Frankie
Okay.
Campbell. That's
Mr.
who in charge of that.
Oh, that's my man.
Yes, Frankie Campbell.
Watch it.
Frankie
No,
Campbell.
that's my man.
No.
That's
If
my
there's-
man.
if there's
But he's
something-
got to get to work.
Frankie, are
Okay.
you listening?
Yes. The Minister of Tourism, I commend him for his
Dionisio
action.
de Aguila.
I commend him.
Yes.
The Minister of Health, I commend him for his actions. But all ministers, the Minister
some
of
ready
Labor,
on day one.
the Minister of Labor, I see that he has initiations going on. But all ministers, time to report to duty. I understand Parliament is on recess, but you ain't got no recess, my brothers and sisters. You have got to get to work. The nation is depending upon you.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you again, our phone lines are open. 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272. Or you can WhatsApp us at 565-8896, 565-8896. And this is Straight Talk, and we're coming to you live from Global Radio 995fm.com.
Gentlemen, I don't want to twist the conversation too much,
Go ahead. Twist it.
but I want to head down south.
Yes, sir.
And I see in today's Tribune that there's a headline that says, surprise as BTC shows CEO the door.
No, man.
What are they talking
What do you
about?
mean?
What are they talking about?
Tell me.
That BTC shows CEO the door.
Which CEO of BTC?
And the union leaders and key allies say they were taken aback yesterday after the Bahamas Telecommunications Company confirmed that Chief Executive Leon Williams is leaving the communications provider. And
Has he resigned?
all I see is that he is leaving. And I think they say he has until Friday, which is his last day on the job. And Mr. Bradley Roberts, BTC's former deputy chairman, said he was surprised to learn of the impending departure. Mr. Leon Williams, you remember Mr. Leon Williams?
You mean the man who's wearing colorful socks?
Well, I know he plays in the band, the church band. That's the last time I saw him. But yes,
But that's the person who the Christie administration made
well, now
provisions for.
you're giving me some more information.
Made provisions
And you're
for.
causing me to remember
Yeah.
that he was the same
That
man
I could remember.
I think that went home under the Ingram
Yes, sir.
administration.
Yes, sir. I can remember that.
from BTC, because he was vehemently against the sale of BTC. But when the Christie administration came into power, he was the chief.
Well,
Yes.
well, since we're talking about BTC, something just popped into my memory. I still would like to know, and I believe the Bahamian people would like to know, what happened with the 2%? Did the government of the Bahamas buy those shares back? Are they now back in the government of the Bahamas
I'm being told.
hands?
I'm
We've never really been told on what's the situation of that 2%, you know?
glad you all talk about that, because
Very
all funds of the Bahamas, and the government of the Bahamas should be in the consolidated fund. But I can recall a interview where there's a special fund for the 2% from Batelco that has been held
In the foundation.
in a foundation
Yes, I've been
in the
told that.
interest of
Has that been
of the
legislated?
Bahamian people. I am not familiar, but that fund from Batelco is not a part of the consolidated fund.
So that's not the government's money.
If it's the government's money,
Because all government money goes
It
in one
should
pot.
Well, it
Turn
sounds
over
like it's a donation
to
from
the
BTC
consolidated
to the Bahamian people.
So the question I still ask, the 2%, who owns the 2%?
well, let's ask this government to look into it.
I have not heard anything from this new government as to the true position of that 2%.
I guess it's still under review.
Well, Mr. Leon Williams had a good run then. He had a whole 5-year run.
It's under review.
Sorry that happened, but like former Prime Minister Perry Christie used to say, it is what it is.
It's a teachable moment.
But we don't know what it is. You don't think it is what it is if you know what it is. We want to know what it is. Do you know what it is?
No, I don't know.
My dog, we know what it is.
It's a top secret. What I've been told, and I will say it again, I've been told that the 2%, and they credit Mr. Williams for his shrewd negotiations
To get that 2%
and
back.
helping the Bahamas, the people of the Bahamas, to be recognized as the true owners of BTC. This is what they told us. This is part of the public relations. That the Bahamian people were able, through Mr. Williams's shrewd negotiations, to obtain the 2% ownership of BTC, and that their monies will be placed in the hands of a foundation.
Yeah, but the money should go to the consolidated fund, shouldn't it?
Let's go. We have a caller on the line. Let's go to the phone lines. Welcome to Straight Talk. Good afternoon, caller. Please turn your radio down.
Hey, good afternoon, Rev.
Good afternoon.
Martin, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm totally agreeing with your host
Okay.
because downtown Nassau is very filthy. You know, I'm a boat captain and I run the boat down there. And if you take a look from East Street to the waterfront, from the waterfront on East Street to Sheraton, British Colonial, there's not one garbage container on that line. And before election, they had people used to come around in the truck and pick up the garbage. But the contract was canceled, so man, you have garbage all over Bay Street, all over Woods Rogers Walk, all on the waterfront, on the sidewalk. What is the minister plan of doing, man? Because tourists looking at this every day. The country done downgrade, you know, and garbage and filthiness. Come on, man.
So you're saying they don't have any receptacles for the garbage in that area?
Not even a straw market.
One.
None at all.
None at all.
So why was there not any?
Well, there was some before election.
So you said they took it away after the election?
Yeah, the contract they took away, have downtown.
So like are you saying the people who used to collect the garbage bins belong to them?
Exactly. Must be, because they must be taken at the same time the contract was taken away from them.
You see, I found the same situation on I call it Long Walk. What do we call it now?
Western Esplanade?
Western Esplanade on Independence Day.
Okay, call it.
Yes. I'm talking about from the cruise ship area.
Yes, sir.
From the Yellow Tower, the Port Authority, down to Sheraton, British Colonial.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there's no garbage bin. There's no seats for the tourists.
But you said there were garbage bins there before election.
There was garbage bin there in May.
But I find that hard to believe that they could take the garbage bin after.
Move them in June?
They move them in June?
If you take the contract from them, I would have taken my garbage bin myself, man.
But the garbage bin can't belong to the contractor.
The garbage bin belongs to the contractors.
Oh yeah,
they belong to Bahamas Waste.
No. But I don't think he's talking about those people like that.
The garbage bin belongs to the man that has the contract.
Yeah, the garbage bin belongs to the contractor.
So if you take his contract,
when you take my
contract,
when you take my contract, then I'm picking up my garbage bin until you renew my contract.
I totally agree with you.
I see. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Elvis.
Well, the bottom line is they have to clean up downtown and everywhere else.
No. See, what you got to realize right now, I can send you some picture and I can show you.
Send it right down to me.
It look like downtown or Grandstand or something like that.
Okay.
All right.
Send it to me.
They're supposed to be the city of New Providence.
Right.
If the city of New Providence look like
send it to me.
We want to keep the Bahamas.
Caller,
we want to keep the Bahamas clean. That's what we want to do.
Thank you very much. Send it to me. I'm looking forward. 565-88.
If I don't send it, I can give the Coco.
565-8896 is the what's up? 565.
Yeah.
8896.
All right.
Okay. 565-8896. Thank you very much. 565-8896 is the WhatsApp text line. You can send us the information, and of course the 326-0271.
7071.
72.
Yes.
All right. 70 ain't coming in here. 71 or 72.
No problem.
Yeah. 326-0271. 326-0271. 326-0272. 326-0272.
I don't want to
straight talk
as if I'm throwing stones, but it's time to get to work, Mr. Colley.
Time to break.
Time to get to work.
Yeah. We're going to take our final break, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we'll continue our discussion. We have some other grounds. We'll talk about independence, the celebration, and the weather is coming. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Straight Talk. We're coming back after we hear from our sponsors.
There is only one pharmacy in Nassau that never says no and offers you great service. Doc's Pharmacy in the Ridgeland Mall for all of your pharmaceutical and prescription needs. At Doc's Pharmacy, great service is more than just giving prices. Filling your prescription is easy. Just call 322-3627 today. Doc's Pharmacy in the Ridgeland Mall, Robinson Road. The pharmacy that never says no.
For fast and efficient appraisals of homes, vacant land, and businesses, your choice should be First Choice Appraisal and Real Estate Sales. Contact broker appraiser Gregory Colley for all your real estate sales and appraisals. Call 422-3010, 565-8896, or 341-0582 for listings of vacant land, residential and commercial properties, and all your appraisal needs.
LRD Construction has a proven track record as a general building and construction company. Its remarkable team is ready to provide quality and proficient service on projects big or small. LRD Construction can handle large commercial sites, new homes, apartments, condominiums, townhouses, home improvements, renovations, additions, and alterations. Call LRD Construction at 327-3769 or 433-6166. West Winds, Love Beach. That's LRD Construction. The best tasting roasted peanuts in the whole wide world are Nature's Gifts Roasted Peanuts. Proprietor Derek Sims applies his personal touch by roasting peanuts to perfection. Get your peanuts in light, medium, and dark. Call 431-7710 to place your order. Nature's Gifts Roasted Peanuts on Market Street and Bacardi Road.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Sammy's Chicken, $5.99 special.
Sammy's Chicken does it again. For a limited time only, it's the $5.99 Thigh Snack Special.
I tell you.
Sammy's $5.99 Thigh Snack Special comes with a 12-ounce Coke, VAT included.
See, I don't lie.
For a limited time only, Sammy's Chicken, Robinson Road, Carmichael Road, East Street South, Farrington Road, and the newly reopened Prince Charles location. Sammy's Chicken.
Want to reach your target audience? Advertise here at Global Radio 99.5. We hit the mark every time. This is Straight Talk with Gregory Colley. Call in and participate at 326-0271 on Global Radio 99.5 FM.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this final segment of Straight Talk. I'm your host, Greg Colley, along with my co-host, Martin Albury, and former Derek Sims. And we've been discussing a myriad of issues. However, we still have a few grounds we have not touched. Once again, I want to apologize to all our listeners who've been calling over the holiday and yesterday, asking about Straight Talk. We want to remind you that our programming changed as of the 1st of July. We only on air on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And if there happen to be a holiday that fall on any of those days, no, we will not be making up another day. We'll be staying to our schedule. So our phone lines today, you can call us 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272, or you can WhatsApp us or text us at 565-8896 today. 565-8896. Oh, I thought you had a number. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking about the cleanup. Someone sent me a photograph of a bunch of I don't know. It appears to me that it's behind Potter's Key dock. A lot of debris, a lot of garbage, and this looks. If this is in fact where it is, this is terrible, and I hope that something has been done to arrest this. If you look, see the bunch of garbage.
Yes, sir.
People are selling all kind of stuff now.
Yeah, that's why I'm summoning the minister, whoever is responsible.
Just the bridge there, right? So it's
yes,
got to be in
to get to work. It is our responsibility. We can't just turn our back and blame. Okay? Get to work. You are being paid. You have been elected to govern the nation. Now let's govern the nation. And I'm not picking on the FNM, you know. See, you got to realize that a nationalist looks out for what is in the best interest of the nation. And right now, our concern is the interest of the nation. That's all it is. I'm not picking on the FNM. I'm not picking on the PLP. Whoever falls in the realm of the national interest of the Bahamas and the Bahamian people, I am prepared to talk about on Straight Talk.
Well, this is straight talk, and if you talk truth, you will get in trouble.
I can talk to the FNM too, and I can drop parables to the victor. You all know the end of that?
No.
To the victor goes the spoils.
Now this is like in wartime now.
Yeah, to the victor goes the spoils.
Yes. You win the war, you take everything that's left on the ground. It's yours. And
FNMs, you hear me?
and you can divide it
To the victor
among your
goes the
soldiers.
spoils.
Make sure everybody spoils home.
Now you can't have enough spoils for everybody to take home.
Well, they only need 35 packages.
But you see, you can't select from
Only-
among the
You only need 35 packages.
the selected
Now, once the
and
35,
the privilege. It must go
Once-
across the board.
once the 35 candidates.
You understand what I'm saying to you, Mr. Colley?
No, you need more than 35.
See, it does not go to the privileged and do not go to the downtrodden, do not go to the roots, do not go to your foot soldiers. It must be spread across the board because to the victor goes the spoil. What other time can he get the spoil?
Okay, now see now let's talk
We
about
can go a little deeper with this though.
now. You and I, we had a dress up to go to Government House
Yes.
to
Oh, yeah.
attend the state
I
dinner.
had on my independence bow tie.
Now, I ain't tasted no cake yet.
Couldn't get upstairs to get to the,
You're
to the cake.
lucky you all get an invitation.
We,
I ain't get none.
we got invitations for the lower gardens. The lower.
Oh, there was a low and a high
You
garden.
got a lower and a middle ground and a higher.
No, that's segregation.
Well, then
The government can't be segregating amongst its
Well-
people.
everybody they say cannot be at the top level.
Well, go down to where they have the Red Cross Fair.
Then bring it,
and set it on that
bring
ground.
it on the ground.
But that's where the serfs were.
No,
like-
then you got to go to Fort
It's
Fort Charlotte or
like you
somewhere
have-
where everyone is on one ground.
You have in classes now for
Well,
sex.
Oh, you're realizing the Bahamas is
You
a
have
class
the
society.
merchant class, and then you have the peasant class.
No, the government should not and must not be caught in that kind of dilemma. Okay, all of us citizens
It's the people's time.
must
they
be
tell you.
for it is the people's time.
Yes.
All right.
And who are the people?
I know.
Well, you had your time on the lower gardens.
I was in the lower gardens, and it felt like I was in hell.
No man, you're joking.
Hot down there. But be that as it may,
You should be thankful you got
said-
one. Derek didn't get any.
been
Well,
to
you know,
government house.
I understand there wasn't much money.
I didn't have any pigs in the blanket
You didn't get any?
or any crack conch, finger bits. But-
Well, you cut the budget for
And I wanted
for
to
the
toast 3
celebration.
times.
Uh-huh.
Wanted to toast 3 times. I wanted to toast Her Majesty the Queen, and I wanted to toast to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and I wanted to toast to the Prime Minister.
Now, when you say you wanted to toast,
And I
you didn't have enough
I
libation to do
did
that?
not get to toast the 3 of them.
But you didn't have enough libation
I
to do
didn't
it?
get a glass. Not a glass.
You have to be joking.
And I was dressed up in my independence bow tie and could not get a glass to toast Her Majesty, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and the Prime Minister.
I tell you what, when we come on Friday, we're
Good
going to
guess.
get some.
Because I told you,
we're going to get some.
independence is not
What-
one day.
We are going to get what I think is some apple
Apple
cider.
Apple
And
cider.
you and I going to toast 3 times.
We have apple cider.
But
we'll
gentlemen,
have our own toast. in
Come
here.
on.
gentlemen,
to the Bahamas.
just let me express a little concern here. I don't. I think it should be a major concern. As a nation, I don't know the word should be sacred, but one of the most sacred
Yes.
of the nation is the independence celebration. Okay. It is my view that sufficient funds should be extended to make sure a satisfactory independence celebration is occurred annually. You see, if we can find funds, how much we spend on Carnival?
Well, we could add up the last two. Let's say $30 million.
And we don't have $2 million for an annual independence celebration? In my view,
independence budget this year was cut by $900,000, I'm told.
See, in my view, it needs to be reviewed. It is only once a year that the citizens of the Bahamas has an opportunity to participate in the birth of this nation, which is now 44 years of age, going now to 45. And an annual budget should now be put in place for the independence celebration of the nation.
But you see, you can't have sufficient money to put aside to do those things when I don't think we see that as a priority.
But it must become a priority.
Yeah. But see, the thing about it is this. I think I mentioned that the United States of America set aside $1 billion for independence celebration. $1 billion. So that's part of their budget. But when we don't have financial or fiscal prudence, where we spread out our money like it's coming out of a tree. Well, the last time they say it's paper, so it does come from tree. But I mean, is to say this: it don't grow on the tree. Don't grow on the tree. Okay. But the thing about it is this: when you could have leave again, I go back to what former Prime Minister said in terms of the spending. So because you give one man a contract for $8 million does not necessarily mean that it's something criminal occurred. But certainly that's not prudence, that's not discretion. When you give one man, what one person could deserve to have all of that money.
There might be anything criminal or a criminal intent.
But it's certainly immoral. But it's something raises questions. It does not pass the smell test.
It didn't smell good. Yeah.
So when we could continue to do things like that, it's just like you were saying. When you reference the spoils, it must be shared around. You can't give one person everything. Let's go to the phone lines. Welcome to Straight Talk. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, Rev. How you doing?
I am great. How are you? I hope you had a wonderful independence.
I'm fine. How are you?
Independence. Everybody was all right.
Everybody was fine.
All right, so Mr. Sims, you all right?
Very healthy, sir. Thank you very much.
Rev, I don't like the statement what Mr. Sears made.
What don't you like about the statement?
About the downgrade.
Okay.
Now they blaming the government for this downgrade, but they ain't the government. It ain't this government. It's them. I don't know why they don't come out and say, look, we sorry.
They're not. That's not in their vocabulary. You don't understand that.
But they're in the government now.
You will never get the PLP.
Government is continuous.
You will never get the PLP to say they're sorry for anything.
But Bishop, they're the opposition. Government of today is the Free National Movement.
And
so everything falls at the feet of the government of today. You cannot revert it to the opposition.
They have inherited.
But you see, that is the kind. That is the kind of indoctrination that the Progressive Liberal Party continues to offer to us. It's only continuous when they're not in office.
Yes, sir.
But when they're in office, they blame the previous government. So you must you have to separate indoctrination, and that is what they're trying to play on those of us who don't know better.
I have to disagree.
Well, that's all right. You could. It's good that you disagree. But let me finish the point.
Go ahead.
Throughout, I can demonstrate, I can show you, and I can bring the evidence where. In each case, while they were in opposition, they say one thing, and when they become government, it's a different thing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but Rev, that's really wrong. And even so, the shadow minister of finance, he comes joining legally. He should know what's going on. That's wrong. And Mr. Davis, he one side talk. All of them is wrong.
But Mr. Davis, I don't listen to Mr. Davis, when Mr. Davis account for misleading the House, for lying to the House and the people about the insurance that he said Mr. Audley Hannah had at Bamsey.
Yes, sir.
I don't listen to nothing what Brave Davis say.
Yes,
okay?
sir. I just called to put in my 5 cents before you all go off, but you all have a nice evening.
You too.
I'll talk to you all Friday.
Are you watching the weather? What's the weather like out there today?
Well, it's raining my way, sir.
Okay. Do you know that there's a tropical wave passing us?
I know, sir. I know, because I heard the broadcast this morning.
Well, keep your eyes on the weather.
Yeah. But only one thing I thank God, is just the rain.
Okay.
All right, sir.
We need the rain.
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead, Brother Sims.
See what I was saying, right? Where the continuance of government occur is, for example, a school may have begun construction underneath a former government. Okay, it is then open by the present government.
Now,
yeah.
Okay. Now, when the new government come into power, they got to
take credit for it.
Don't they have to totally agree that is what they wanted to do?
You see,
sometimes they can say we stop, review, and we cancel.
They can. They can.
We got to make that a hospital.
They can, but for example, let us look at Linden International Airport.
That's a good example.
Project started underneath the PLP.
Good example.
Okay, first phase open.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
When you say it started,
The creation of it.
The plans.
The plan.
Yeah, the paperwork.
Started
paperwork.
underneath the PLP.
So I want you to understand the difference when they started. They ain't starting, they put no steel in the ground, they ain't cut no trench.
Then go 100 feet up.
See, things don't start from steel. Things start from plans.
All right, so the paperwork.
Right?
Okay, from the paperwork.
Plans.
Right, all right.
Were initiated
and sometimes
by the
plans,
PLP.
And sometimes those plans, again, like Martin said, don't never come to nothing.
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
Right,
the first phase of it was opened by the FNM.
Completed and opened by the FNM.
Yes. The second phase
was started by the FNM.
But completed by the PLP.
Yeah,
and opened.
That's the invitation.
That's what I'm referring to.
All right. Now, you see, you can't cherry pick when you talk about continuity.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Continuity. When you say government,
be selective.
You can't be selective. You can't. When you say government is continuous.
Yes.
You must mean that in totality.
Yeah, the independence celebration.
All right.
Just passed.
You can't cherry pick.
What's the government of the Bahamas?
When you cherry pick.
One people.
I was only giving you an illustration.
But that's a physical and that's a construction illustration. Okay. We're talking about the theory and the actual government continuing of the process of the
running of the country.
Running of the country.
Yes, I'm not disagreeing. But
not projects now. You talk about projects that's continue. We're not talking projects. You have a call on the line? Let's go to the phone lines. Welcome to Straight Talk. Good afternoon.
You want to attack me?
Hey.
What's up? How was your holiday?
The holiday was great. How about yours?
Mine's great. Derek Simpson and mine.
It's great, man.
Good to hear from you.
Yeah, I hear you're talking about the airport. There's a new airport. I always got a new airport. You know, the first phase started in Uberding in 2009 and completed in 2011.
Right.
Another phase started in that time too and finished under the PLP.
Right.
The PLP started nothing. The drawings wasn't even half completed. Also,
the PLP started the initial drawing. You see, if you go back to
completed, bro.
So may not have been completed, but the initial idea was underneath the PLP.
So how do you how do you view?
I started from 2009, from 2005, they trying to do it.
Caller, how do you view the argument that government is continuous?
Well, sorry, he hung up. He gone.
Oh, he just.
But let's go back to the point. But if you want to give them credit, really, this whole idea about the airport came out of Atlantis demand to have that airport upgraded.
So Krishna, that is true.
So in the PLP idea, that came out of that.
I'm not aware, so
okay,
I can't comment.
All right, that came out of that. That was part of the parcel to the whole development. Just like there are demands from Bahama that the government needs to get put in place.
Government is continuous.
Exactly.
But the government is the government.
It is continuous. It is continuous.
Yes, but so you can't cherry pick.
PLP government.
Yeah,
there's no FNM government. It's the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
It's the government of the Bahamas.
So you can't cherry pick your project. Let's go to the phone lines. Welcome to Straight Talk. Good afternoon.
Good day, Brother Aubrey. Good day, Brother Coley.
And
good day, Brother Sims.
Good day to you.
Good day to the producer, Nathan. Now, I want to know, did any of you take any time to listen to the interview of on Love 97 issue of today, host Wendell Jones with the former Prime Minister Perry Gladstone Christie, first public appearance, radio speech after a massive defeat in the last general election?
I know.
Speaking about winning on it.
I know every word Mr. Christie uttered.
Listen to me. Mr. Christie said something very interesting to the new Prime Minister. Talk to you about minutes. Led administration. Listen what he said. What I pick up on the issue of alleged corruption, he said, I paraphrasing the former Prime Minister now.
Yes, sir.
The answer he seeks, if he checks the files, you will find it right in there. Not only that, you could go a little back further also and review the files before him, meaning him, the former Prime Minister,
yes,
if
sir.
he is really seeking the truth. And now that, you can put that together.
No,
that's it.
What
you can know what's going
from that?
What he is basically saying, that the former Prime Minister and the former Prime Minister before him, if we go back and check both of the records, and you will see the truth what he's seeking when he's talking about alleged corruption, he see the whole truth. I mean, don't forward that. I guess, you know what I mean? If you want to go that far, go all the way back and bring up every day on both government. Just to show you that what he basically said, that the two of the last former Prime Minister was playing the country on the same vibe of corruption.
I agree with you, sir. You see, and this is knowledge that they would prefer the Bahamian public not
to touch that.
to have.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, if you listened to Martin earlier, Martin alluded to that. He said,
yeah, I was listening.
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah, so
and Senator Sims also said we've only had really 2 prime ministers.
Yeah, I listened to that.
Yeah.
But I'm basically with the former Prime Minister Perry Christie is basically saying that, hey, you don't want to go dig up our day. You better go back further and dig up, dig one grave, dig 2, and you better come and with all the evidence.
We can dig one grave at a time, not all. So when they come to power, they can go back further and dig up the next grave.
On behalf,
you listen, the former Prime Minister came out and say, and made his statement the other day and tell them they buy my loan and don't get giddy and all that and everything. All that was like playing out one behind the other.
Yeah.
Focus on what's going on.
Yeah, well, on behalf of the Bahamian people, to dig up all the graves.
Yeah, well, I wait to see that. That's what I wait to see. I wait to see if this Prime Minister is very serious on dealing with corruption. If he's going to dig up all graveyards.
I can tell you one thing: if no graves are dug, then you can have 3 graves.
It's time to prosecute their backsides and send them straight to jail, in my view, and in the view of the people.
If they don't dig up none of the graveyards, then look like we have to look for some new undertakers.
Yeah,
to come dig up everything.
If there ain't no graveyard, dig up them. Dig up them.
Let's go to the full lines. Welcome to Straight Talk. No?
The roads that dig up.
Oh, you said in 2 minutes. Oh, okay.
Said, there's got to be. All right? There can't be no turning back. If you have to go back for the last 20 years, the Bahamian public, the taxpayers, the payers of the bill of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
So where does the buck stop?
In 1992. You got to go all the way back there. You see, you may have to go all the way to 1967 with all of
No, but that ain't make no sense going back there.
Well, you want to find out where it started? You want to find out how it started? It is my view, it started with the legal fraternity. And in my view, it will end with the legal fraternity. And in my view, a lawyer should never, ever be leader of this Bahamian archipelago. For they do only one thing, look out for themselves.
Well, there's one in waiting. It's a leader in waiting.
And your leader in waiting now is a part of the combination that I talked about. You know,
we ain't worried about him. We can have our own campaign to make sure he doesn't be prime minister.
Of the same derelict building here. Ingram, Christie, and Co. Well, the Co was Brave Davis, you know. Yeah. You see? So we have had Ingram there. We have had Christie there. And now on the verge of going there.
In waiting. He wants to get
Your
there.
Prime Minister in waiting is Brave Davis.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. That ain't
And the nation has to be aware, but we don't like to talk about it.
Yeah.
But the nation must, just like the songwriter say, wake up everybody.
Mhm.
The teachers start, you preachers start preaching. You politicians, leave the people money alone. Somebody got to tell you.
Matt Aubrey?
Yeah, thank you very much. What else can I say? I'm going to add to this on Friday, God willing, and I hope to be back for another edition of Street Talk.
Well, let's take
Until
a final
then.
call. That'll be the final caller for the day. We ain't taking them more after that. We're going to wrap up. I thought somebody beat you today, Prophet. Welcome to Straight Talk. Good afternoon.
Hey, once again.
Oh, you
I
called
think
back,
y'all have
eh?
the wrong idea about this, you know. Because Hubert Ingram told the FNM, don't take up no bonds. The Minister of Finance going to borrow money and can tell the world that the Bahamas can't pay the money back that he's trying to borrow. You can lend him any money. Ain't nobody have to know that the Bahamas was in debt. All he had to do is did not take up them bonds.
There you go.
All right.
We
All
want-
right.
we want to thank you very much.
You want everything to be hidden. You want to keep secret. You ain't keeping it a secret. Thank you very much, caller. Let me read this last text. Gentlemen, until we have a fixed election date and contracts can run for 1 to 2 months after that date, when boards could be in place to give or renew contracts, this problem will exist. A new minister giving contract before the board is in place will be accused of giving contracts to friends, lovers, and cronies. Thank you very much for your text. And ladies and gentlemen, we are completely out of time. And we want to thank you for your text messages, your telephone calls. I want to say thank you to our producer and engineer, to our co-hosts today, Martin Albury and former Senator Derek Sims. You've been tuning in to Global 99.5 FM and Straight Talk. Today's show has been brought to you by Doc's Pharmacy, located Robertson Road, by Master Sis, located Village Road, by Nature's Gifts, Fresh Roasted Peanuts, located Market Street South, by Sammy's Chicken, 5 locations to choose from, and also by First Choice Appraisals and Sales, and Geneva Brass Seafood, located Eden Street off Farndon Road. We'll be back on Friday. As you know, Friday is Street Talk Friday, which means that you get the chance to talk about whatever topics or topic that you have that's close to your heart, that you want to comment or share your views upon. And of course, I want to remind you that Straight Talk is now aired on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 2 to 4, same time slot, but only on those 3 days. And so, once again, on behalf of our my co-host and our producer, this has been Straight Talk. Good afternoon. We'll see you on Friday.